Software Football. This is a run-through of a game using my soon-to-be released helper. Let's click on the file here to open the Excel helper. I better tell it to enable the macros because it's a macro-driven program. Let's go through these warnings about getting ready for football. Okay, let's start over at the far left here and click the Start New Game button. Since this is a new game, let's reset all the stats, zero them out by clicking Yes. Now Brian, the developer of the game on the official game website, has offered the 1970 Baltimore Colts and 1970 Dallas Cowboys as a free sample board game download. So let's choose those as our two teams to play here. Scroll down a little, click on Colts on that side, scroll down a little, click on Cowboys, hit submit. So yes, 70 Colts, that's 70 Cowboys. Okay. Now do you want to set the play for the college teams that I basically developed this for? We'll set it for 30 seconds. That's the default, but since we're going to play a couple pro teams here, let's click no and have 40 seconds tick off per play. So the utility now has taken us to the special team sheet of the Excel file, and it's told us that the 70 Cowboys won the toss, and do they, or you if you're acting as the Cowboys, receive? Now let's say yes, Cowboys will receive, Colts will kick off. Okay, the utility is now telling us default, we're going to be in the normal kickoff defense, the Cowboys return team that is, and up here the Colts are kicking off. Now let's make it a normal kickoff. Okay, so the utility has told me that we're going to go look at Colts kicker Jim O'Brien's card under an 11 on the kickoff column, and if we need the variable yardage roll, the D10, it's going to be a 3. So we see that on an 11, that's a result code 51, which is 50 plus the 3 yards here, so we got 53 yards. Was there a penalty called? No, it didn't go out of bounds, so we'll click no. Okay, so the kickoff distance needs to be entered. Now the utility is going to default to 50-something yards. Those are the most common kickoff distances in the 50s, at least for the older teams and the college teams. So it knows to put in the 53 yards, so we'll click OK. And it's determined that being that it was kicked off from the 40, the ball is now at the 7, and since that's in the field of play, it'll be returned. Click no. So the utility's looked up the dice rolls, and it's determined that kick returner number 1, which is the Cowboys' Dwayne Thomas, is going to go up against the kick coverage right safety, which is, looking on my platoon sheets, Ted Hendricks. So we have Dwayne Thomas, who's a 7F, versus Ted Hendricks, who's a 4L in this matchup. Now 7 minus 4 is 3. The D10 for the matchup was 7. That means the defense won this, since it's higher than the 3, Hendricks. So instead of Thomas's F, we're going to use Hendricks' L. Let's click OK. Okay, now the utility has taken us to the returns and result code sheet, and it's told us there was a dice roll of 7 with a variable yardage D10 roll of 8. So the default 18 yards is put in here, but let's actually check what under the L column we would get with a dice roll of 7. Well, with a dice roll of 7, as you can see the circle going here while the macro is running waiting for our response, is a result code of 90. Well, 90 are 0 to 9 yard gains. In this case it was a 7 roll, so we have an 8. It's a 7 roll for the result column there, but the variable yardage was an 8. So instead of 18, like we could have had here on a 6, an 8, a 9, a 10, or 11, we're only going to have 8 yards. So let's edit that and put in 8 yards. However, as we pan over on the returns table, we notice some warnings about return yardage, and on kickoffs, when the ball is inside the 10, like we are in this case, we're at the 7, 10 extra yards is added when result codes of 90 occur. So in fact, we are going to use the 18-yard return. So we'll leave the 18 and click OK. And as such, the utility has told us we've gone to the 25. Click OK, and it's going to switch us back to the field sheet. And here's the line of scrimmage. The ball is now at the 25. Scoreboard section's all updated. 1st and 10, ball on own 25, first quarter, 15 minutes remain. No time for the kickoff, and this one went out of bounds on the return. That's why there's 15 minutes. And on offense are the 70 Cowboys. Okay, let's go ahead and run an offensive play. We'll click the offensive play macro button, bring up our choices. Let's run Dwayne Thomas on the halfback end run. Click OK. So only Pro Set and Shotgun are available right now. So we were in the Pro Set when we picked play 12, which is the halfback end run. Okay, let's get ready and hike the ball. Click on the picture. Okay, so utilities looked up all the match rolls of the dice roll out of screen here. It was a D20 of 13, a matchup roll of 3. The difference between the two players matching up was 6. So that's lower. 3 is lower than 6. So the matchup was Paul Norman, the tight end, against an unmanned defensive zone, no Colts. So Norman's X rating 1, and the 2d6 together roll was a 5. So an X rating for runs, you just add the 2d6 together to get the yardage. So we have 5 yards. If it was like a result code of 90 or 11, we would use this 4 here for the variable yardage. And for the result code of 99s that I created, we would use the lavender color here. This is blank because X ratings don't use those result codes. So it was left blank. Okay, so we got a 5-yard gain. Okay, 5-yard gain. Got a button for that. Let's click it. Line of scrimmage was moved. 5 yards. Now up here. It's now 2nd and 5. Ball's on the 30. 14:40 remaining because this one went out of bounds. Okay, I'm getting low on my allotted YouTube time here, so let's try a pass now. 2nd and 5. Let's go to the medium passes. Split end slant. Come up here, 2nd and 5. Let's click the hike. And so B.R. Smith is B rating. So the blitz pressure is going to come. And we're going to look for a 6 on left defensive tackle. B.R. Smith's B rating roll of 6. Let me look that up. Okay, I looked that up, and that's a result code of 47, which is a sack result code. So we got to run a sack utility, macro. Okay, scrolling down a little, here we have the record QB sack or a scramble out of the range of the video. You can see that this is all the defensive players where they were all aligned and who's credited on the defense, B.R. Smith here. Okay, record the sack. Okay, this one's actually a sack, so let's leave that button clicked. Zoom in here a little. Okay, since this was a split end slant, which is a medium pass range, and the D ratings were used on offense, We have 2 yards in additional to the dice roll 2, so we have a 4-yard loss on the sack. Click OK.